All right, so let's talk about processes and how we can digitize them, how we can save time. So back in the day, paper was pretty much what we used. So I mentioned, when you're going to print things out, well, consider not just the price of the paper that you're printing on. Well, it's also the cost of the ink as well. And there's some other costs as well if you go to print it out and then you're trying to look for that paper again. Where did it go? The time it takes to handle that paper, to move it to where it needs to go. There's a lot of costs that are involved with that. So you want to keep aware of that. Now, obviously, let's say you have something that you printed but now you need to get it back into the computer so you can email it to someone so you can share it. Well, you may have to go back then and take a picture of it. You need to scan that paper in. So that's another thing as far as the time goes. Now, obviously, there's the faxing where you have it printed out. Now you need to fax it somewhere. So the fax machine, you put the paper in, it goes through each page, it dials out. It takes a while to send that out. So again, that process, there's extra steps, extra time it takes for that to go through. You may also have to get a signature. So back in the day, we used to have to get the pen, we read through it, we sign whatever pages we need to sign. Then again, we have to go through that process where we have to scan it to then go in whatever system it's going to email it, however we're sending it. And that takes some time there. And then also with paper, obviously there's storage as well. So you need to have a place where you're going to put all this paper, organize it with folders, and that definitely stacks up over time. So, and especially if you're trying to look for something, hopefully you've organized it and are able to find it easily. So that's another thing where, paper is nice when you need to look at something, but obviously the process-wise, having to print stuff out, that can be definitely not the best time saver there. And also we have, of course, notes as well. So if you're used to taking notes on paper, that's another process that we might have. Now, if we wanted to digitize all of this, for printing, well, a lot of times back in the day, we used to have to just print it out. You need to have a paper copy, that's it. Well, most of the time, if not all, pretty much they will accept a scan on your phone if it's like a ticket, for example, or if someone needs to receive this, well, we can actually just print it to a standard file. So PDF is a standard digital file that you'll see nowadays. So your computer should have that ability. If you go to File and then Print, look for the Save as a PDF option. Sometimes it says Print to PDF, Microsoft Printer PDF if you're on a PC. So there's different ways that you can basically save it as a file, but using that print option in order to do that. So once you have the file, well, then you can send it off where it goes. Now, obviously, if you have something that unfortunately has already been printed out, all right, we got it there. What can we do from there? Well, besides having a scanner, nowadays, most of us have mobile phones. You can also use a mobile app as well. So there's different apps out there. A lot of them are free. Adobe Scan I've used before, and that's actually useful. It'll even read the text if it's a worded document. Office Lens is another great one. This one's from Microsoft. That one's a free one. That worked great. But there's different applications, phone apps that you can take a look at. Basically just takes a picture of each page so that way you can scan it, get a file, you can send it as a PDF, save it to your cloud storage. So it gives you a lot of options there. So that's a great way to kind of get that process out of the way, to get it back into the digital format that you would probably desire. Besides that, also for faxing, well, actually, you can use faxing on the internet. If you have a digital file, like I said, you can print to a PDF file. Some applications may even have the option to print to fax. All right, so you go to File, Print, send it as a fax. It'll pop up a window. Just tell it what number you want to send it to, and send it off from there. So there's different systems that are out there. eFax is just one of many. So you can send faxes that way. What else? Now for signatures, this is nice as well. So most of the time, you just need to, on this document, you need to put a signature, and sometimes it's required that you have to, they call it a wet signature, so that may happen, but pretty much most of the time, they'll take a document that just has a image of your signature, or really what's better is to have a digital ID or certificate. And Adobe Reader, that's pretty much standard PDF software that should be on most computers, or you can always download it. It's a free download. And even this software, you don't need expensive software to do it. You can set it up in Adobe Reader, create your digital certificate, you draw on the screen, and you're able to create that signature on the file, you save it, and that's considered signed. And obviously there's signing sources to make it more official, but a lot of times even just having on your on your signature, it has your name, the date, some basic information. So that's usually is enough in order to be able to count that as an official signature. So that's a great feature that's under the certificates section of Adobe Reader. So definitely check that out there. And obviously another great thing, digital. Well, if you have your files, they're in folders. Keep them organized. You can save them on your computer. Definitely, if these are important files, maybe you want to save it in the cloud. So if you have a cloud account with some service, I use for Microsoft, they have the 365 service. OneDrive comes with a bunch of storage, so you can save all your pictures, your videos, other documents. Each user gets a terabyte, so great service. So I posted about that on my website, just some useful to have there. So, and then once you have your files in there, and it's even if it's not organized, let's say, but you have all these files saved, you have a search capability. So you're able to search for specific files. Just makes it a lot faster, a lot easier to use. All right. Another thing, if you have a note-taking application, there's different ones that are out there. OneNote actually comes with Microsoft 365, so that's another useful way to just be able to organize your information. If you need some quick information, you have it saved in a notebook. Just makes things a lot easier there. So you'll see the certificates. That's the option for Adobe Reader. If you do it by the image, it's under fill and sign. So those are some useful features there.